Hey, everybody. Welcome to Skottie Talk, everyone's weekly cure for insomnia. I'm Dustin. I've got my buddy Tyler on there. How's it going, Tyler?
It's going well. How about yourself?
Going good.
Good.
Give everybody a second to get in here. Gosh, as we were going live, it's kind of cool. Even the little live numbers up there and the viewer count seems to have changed. StreamYard's growing and maturing, and we're growing with it. So it doesn't
I
take
like
much
that
to amaze
exactly.
me. It's like different font. Forget you. I'm gonna move on. No, but
It's fun.
I'm
New
gonna.
toys to play with. Exactly.
Yeah, and Tyler was showing me off what Seth had mentioned, I believe, in our last show. I win. Yeah, speak of the devil when he
Yeah.
appears.
And they
Hey,
show up
Seth.
here. Exactly.
Yeah, what's going on? Uh,
I win yet.
Congratulations. Now it's Tyler. I think Seth had been the one pointed out the big box in their background last week, and the fact that you were showing me your new computer and Tyler's high tech. He doesn't cheap on the computer, so very impressive setup he's got there.
No, yeah, it's for work and for personal use. So it's a mixture of both. But yeah, I'm excited. It was funny because I didn't have any of this stuff set up. I was telling Dustin when I got in, so I had to quickly plug in my webcam and make sure the audio was working and all that jazz. But thankfully it was quick. Technology seems to get quicker and quicker with that stuff, thankfully. So it's not like when we had to transfer phones or data and 15, 20 years ago. So
Yeah. Yeah. Back in my youth, what Tyler's referring to there, back whenever, uh, gosh, before we had phones or had that access at our fingertips.
I'll just say
Uh,
all you needed were numbers. That's the only thing you kept data wise, maybe pictures, but they weren't, really great. So it was mainly just keeping track of your logbook. So
and I can't say anything about it. It's made everybody's life easier. We're not going to get into that and for everybody, but it's like going through the Stone Age. Even where I work, I'm an accountant, and I found an old general ledger where people actually used to have to write numbers down. And I thought,
mm,
oh man, I can't. First off, I'm left-handed. I can't read my handwriting. And second off, I would hate to. There's no Control F function whenever you have stuff written down. So live and die by Control F.
I like that.
All right, I am putting a live up. I'm letting everybody in the group, the Scotty Young Appreciation Group, know that we are in fact live. Post
Perfect.
a picture of me and you to bring everybody
Let's say
in.
maybe and let them come in so then we can explain the giveaway that Seth has supposedly already won. So
Yeah, I mean, there's no need to explaining it whenever Seth's already the winner.
we
And
should
I
we
believe,
should do that. Yeah, like it maybe surprise them one time and just be like whoever's the first person to comment besides Seth is the
yeah,
winner. So because we know
yeah,
Seth will be the first one most of the time anyway. So
yeah. And on some nights, I'm sure Seth would probably have time to go create a fake account and comment, and would probably still be the first one to
I
comment.
guess that's fair. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that. Yeah, true.
If you
It'll
were
just
willing
be
to do
like,
that, yeah,
yeah, his profile just be not Seth T. So
yeah, yep, I'm all for that. Well, before we get started, I did not create a slide for this tonight because, quite frankly, I forgot to. But the news that was kind of skull and crossbones from Seth, the news that was kind of leaked last week, and whether it's true or not, the Marvel Inside Source was talking about Strange Academy possibly becoming a show on
mm,
Disney Plus. Uh, and granted, a little bit's been circulating for a few months ago. Last summer there was coming up, but a lot of the content that the guy had leaked on his, I guess he's got a Patreon page or something like that where you have to pay to see the material. But a lot of it was about future Marvel stuff, and it sounded, if it's not 100% legit, at least it's something that I could very well see uh, Disney Plus doing, especially with the Skeleton Key, uh,
yeah, yeah,
Skeleton
Skeleton
Crew,
Crew. Yeah.
and Stephen King popping in my head, but Skeleton Crew and just the youth that's kind of focused towards a different audience, and I think Strange Academy would probably scratch that itch for a different group of people to enter into the Marvel and Scotty's writing.
No, yeah, it's a super great point because yeah, I personally really enjoyed Skeleton Crew. It's definitely different than most of the other stuff we've gotten, but again, I feel like most people or most Star Wars fans, go in with expectations. And you just had to kind of throw that out the window with this one. And I knew going in, Goonies meets Treasure Planet meets Star Wars. And I got exactly what I was hoping and expecting for. So, like you said, I definitely think that if it did do a Strange Academy, it would do, it would hopefully do really well as a TV show.
Yeah,
And
and where you
be able to introduce people to, new characters and stuff that they maybe don't know as well. So,
no, great point. And where you may not get a Benedict Cumberbatch to be Doctor Strange during it. I mean, if you could possibly get Wong as the instructor, I'd be okay with that. And oh man, my mind went blank. Is it Madison? Who's Wong's? It's spelled with a Y, but not where you think. That lady that was in She-Hulk with I don't. I should have looked that up, but
I'm blanking. Yeah, who are we talking about specifically?
It was Wong's friend from She-Hulk, the one the party girl.
Oh,
I want to say it was Madison, but I don't. That doesn't feel right. Maybe someone out there can.
Yeah, I'm blanking. Yeah.
Anyway, it's one of those things where I'll get sidetracked, and when you start talking about something else, I'm going to Google it, and I will figure out who it is. Madison. There we go. Right. So I did have it right. It didn't
Just
sound
spelled
right.
differently then. Yeah.
Yeah. As I said, it's spelled with a Y, but not where you think. That's all I could remember from it. So thank you very much, Ryan. Congratulations, you have won our prize. That was our trick.
We're taking it from Seth and we're giving it to you. Yeah.
No, I jest. I better stop. I better not say that. All right, but we've got 5 people in here watching now. So announcement number 1, and we'll do another announcement later on. But take it away, Tyler.
Yeah, so we're, as Dustin talked about last week, because of the 5-year anniversary of the Facebook group, we're going to be doing a giveaway each and every single month, and we're kicking off January pretty easy since we got started a little bit already into the month. So what we'll be doing is generally these giveaways will be at the end of the month, and we'll kind of explain how to work at the beginning, so that way people have throughout the month to get maybe multiple opportunities or just the most information to be able to do the giveaway at the end of the month. So with this first one, we're starting off things super simple, and we're going to be doing the wheel as we like doing or we've done in the past. And what we'll be doing is at the next show, which will be blanking on the date, the 29th. Thank you, Dustin. Will be the last show of the month. So what we'll be doing is anybody who's watching that show will be pulling your names into a wheel. And then at the very end of the show, we'll be spinning that wheel. And we're also kind of including a small little stipulation that whoever is announced as the winner, we just want to make sure that you're in the show watching to be able to claim it. And if you don't come forward, then we'll spin it again until we get to somebody who's there. Unless it's Seth, then we'll just spin again, just in case. But
we'll glitch. Yeah, just conveniently glitch on Seth.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, whoops, that one misfired. We'll have to do it again. So yeah, like I said, so just we'll talk about it again at the end of this show. But like I said, just make sure you're there for the next show, the end of January on the 29th, next Wednesday. And like I said, we'll be putting names in as you fill into the comments or into, we'll have you probably just, say your name, and most of you comment so we can get your name from the YouTube. But we'll probably ask everybody at a certain point, just like, hey, roll call. If whoever's here, just give us your names and then fill in that wheel, and then we'll spin it, and somebody will win a $25 gift card. So.
Yes, sir. And as well you should, Seth. As well you should. 12 months, 12 giveaways, different winner every month. Maybe the last month of the year, December, we might let everybody get back in for some big prize, but we'll do, and it's going to be a different type of giveaway every month. The wheel is going to be month 1 for January for next week, and then month 2 will be something completely different. I would tease what it is going to be, but I don't know what it's going to be yet, so we can't really tease what we don't know. But it will be fun.
Yeah, we've rattled off a few ideas and kind of going off the bean counter, which seemed to trip up quite a few people. We'll try and, keep things from easy all the way up to maybe a little bit more difficult, like the bean counter. So yeah, we'll keep going with those.
We love the bean counter. We're not.
I love the
attacking
bean counter. Yeah. Again, we got somebody who was one off. So I mean, there were people that were close. So
Yeah. And speaking of Bean, real quick while Seth's on here, kudos to that Superman Krypton sketch. It looks like he'll be picking up at MegaCon from Brett Bean. If you haven't, I know this is our Skottie talk, but real quick, let's give some love to Brett as well. If you haven't joined or followed Brett on either Facebook or Instagram, make sure to check it out. I'm hoping that's Seth's especially after saying this live, but all the art that Brett has been posting over the last month has been incredible. So it looks like he's going to be bringing a ton of that type of stuff to MegaCon. So I'm really envious of everyone that gets to go.
exactly, yeah. Like Ryan said, Skottie Jason counts. And good luck. I'll be taking all the art for myself. So Seth, you can fight me on it. But yeah, I'm going to be rushing there Thursday night as soon as it opens.
Yeah, there'll be some type of a celebrity death match between Tyler and Seth to see who gets to pick the first piece of art from Brett. So
be the first time I get kicked out of a con, it seems like. So
yeah, good luck, gentlemen. Make sure and film it so we can have a good episode on Skottie Talk the next week. So
exactly. But no, yeah, it seems, yeah, Seth, he said, oh man, it's so good. So, yeah, I would assume that was yours. He liked the post. Yeah, it was such a fun commission. And like you said, Dustin, everything that he's been posting on Instagram, building up to MegaCon is I'm very much looking forward to looking at in person. So
me too. And I'm hoping that between you and Seth, you all will take plenty of pictures so we can live through you all, because for all of us that won't be able to make it. Hopefully the snow will be gone in Florida by the time. Do you have snow now, Tyler? I meant to ask you that.
No, we don't know. It's just a lot of rain, unfortunately. So very cold, very rainy. So
okay. Yeah, I've seen pictures from the Gulf Shore and from the East Coast of snow, and I was thinking, man, Tyler may not be able to leave the house. I might need to mail him some bread and milk just to make sure he makes it okay. But,
No, yeah, thankfully we're being center of the state here. It's just enough a way to be able to still just be rain. So, a little bit sad to me. I wouldn't have minded seeing at least just a few snowflakes, as I didn't get that over Christmas. So,
I bet. All right. Well, we will do another announcement for the giveaway towards the end of the show for anyone that may be joining late. How dare you? But next slide. We're just for real briefly. This wasn't even advertised. This is something kind of just threw together. We're all curious. When I say we all, the royal we, of what Skottie's first shop exclusive will be of 2025. And last year we had the Ultimate Spider-Man and Transformers fourth printing. That were, I think they were both released. I can't say January 9th, I believe, when they were actually put up for pre-order at the Skottie shop. So by that time, I'm assuming we will be getting an announcement soon about what the next Skottie shop will be, next Skottie shop exclusive will be. But I'm looking forward to whatever it may be. And somebody from the group had commented this next one, a little, deductive reasoning, that Universal Monsters, the image Mummy #1 will be coming out in March, and since Skottie has did 3 of the Universal Monster image books so far, it's right to assume, to hope, to fingers crossed that we will be getting a Skottie shop exclusive for the Mummy #1.
Yes, no, yeah, we've talked about it before when showing off the Dracula and the previous, the Creature from the Black Lagoon and those covers. So Frankenstein. So yeah, I mean it's almost a must. Like, if we don't finish off at least with Wolfman and Invisible Man, I'll be disappointed. But mainly just because I know that he would knock these covers out of the park, and then Mummy as well. So fingers crossed. Like you said, here's hoping that this is another one we get in the shop. But I don't see why they wouldn't, kind of at this point with having done the previous 3. So
yeah, I'm adding a real quick. Yeah, this is an assumption. No news has been revealed. Yeah, I don't want anybody to think that we have any insight.
I mean, it says this was a guess at the top, so I think but better to be safe than sorry. So,
but yeah, I exactly. I put that at the top whenever I put the yellow highlight up there, just so people would not start posting in the group, that the news has been broke that the mummy's coming out by Skottie. We don't know that. We
We
have
don't
no
get
idea.
special treatment here. We know as much as you guys. We
No.
probably know less. I know less than some of you. I mean, Seth will post stuff well before I know about it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you, just hoping and waiting. So,
Yeah, and this one, Seth brought up a really really good book. I'd actually saw Jason Aaron's name on the Bug Wars, and I think it's a short, it's a mini. It's only 6 issues, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, but it looks like it'd be a perfect. I forget the description that I read for it. It was like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids meets, and it was like some war movie. And if you like those genres mixed together, you're going to love Bug Wars. So, uh, yeah, I could definitely see that. And Ryan had even kind of followed it up. That it seems like a perfect match. And
this is the first time hearing about it, but looking at it, it looks awesome. So I can only hope that he'll do a cover for it.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think Jason Aaron is writing it with someone else. He's like co-writing the book. I can't think of the other person's name, and I'm not prepared to say it, but yeah, the premise of it sounds really good, and I could see Skottie doing some killer things with the Bug Wars and fighting on bugs and all that good stuff.
Looks like he's at least on issue 1. He's listed as the main writer.
Okay, well then I stand corrected. I'm glad you was able to
be wrong with the rest of them though. So
no. I thought that Jason Aaron had mentioned someone else, but there it is. Okay, so that's when Jason was referencing
the artist.
I'm not going to try to say that name, but yeah, he must be the writer. So I was incorrect about that. But anything Jason Aaron writes is going to be a great book. So yeah, hopefully everybody will pick that up and support Jason and this writer. And Seth says that he has read the Ash Can. It seems like it's going to be really good. So yeah, as expected, but goes right back to a great guess by Seth. Even whenever we saw like the Absolute Superman came out, and I saw Jason Aaron's name on it, that's the first thing that pops in my head. Anytime I see Jason Aaron's name on a new book, is that Skottie may be doing a cover for this one. So great guess, Seth.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm sorry, Tyler. I think Tyler, this may be the first time you're getting this question asked to you, so you have zero preparation for this question. But are you? If it's not one of the independent books, an Image book or Vertigo or Boom or anything like that, are you thinking he's going to start out with a DC or a Marvel book?
Oof. I mean, it's tough to say because I'm not keeping up with the preview stuff as much. So in terms of knowing what comics are actually coming out, but I'd have to say I would still probably lean Marvel unless DC's got something else like Absolute that they're getting ready to launch. Because again, it still seems like he's slowly getting in some DC stuff. It's not like Marvel where they're just pumping that stuff out as quick as they can. So. Yeah, I'd be interested to see, if, like I said, what DC has cooking up that he'd lend his artwork to. But I'm fine with that. I mean, again, as long as it's Skottie, then I'm cool with whichever. So.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't know if you realize this, but the next slide is chart time with Dustin. I don't know if you remember that from
I very much do. Yes, my favorite. It's a very missed and beloved slide. So.
Where I put the odds are the probability of which book will be next. Now, I wish I'd had time to do that, but yeah, we will have a chart time with Dustin come back maybe for the 20th anniversary.
We'll have to implement that in one of the giveaways for sure.
Yeah, it's near and dear to my heart. I got good things. Here we go. Seth, I knew somebody would be up on previews a lot better than what me and you are. But
like I said, Seth is, he's always posting, so he's keeping up with that stuff really well.
Now, I could definitely see a trio of books to go along with the first 3 that he did of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. So you'd get Green Lantern, Flash, and Martian Manhunter. So
I would absolutely love all 3 of those hands down. Whatever Absolute joke we get, because I would hope that he'd continue his Absolute joke. these would be a blast to see for sure if they're in the same vein as the first set. So again, these books are news to me. I need to be better about keeping up with the daily comic news stuff, but I'd be very excited if these were some of the first ones we got.
And I think every time we post of what book do you wish that Skottie would work on next for DC, you always get someone that screams Lobo, that shouts Lobo. And there's somebody else I think we have a Harley Quinn fan. So any of those DC books, I mean, Skottie's going to do a killer job on any of them. But
well, I was going to say, especially with the recent news of Jason Momoa and Lobo being confirmed, and I can only imagine especially because Skottie's, hasn't he drawn him before? I think like it's a fun like sketch.
Yeah. There's been a few different versions of the sketch.
So
yeah, and
I can see there being very well being an official one at some point, especially if we get a movie or something. So,
oh yeah, no doubt. But either way, we'll buy it. We're not.
Either way, my guy at my local comic store will pull it for me, Brian. So,
yeah, so we're good. We're good. Yeah, if you make it, we will buy it. So we're pretty loyal when it comes to that. I forget what's next. Oh, okay. I can take away our banner now. I told you it might be.
I thought about it earlier, but I left it up just in case you still wanted it, just for safety reasons. So
yeah, even what we get in the mail is just an assumption. We're not. We can either confirm or deny what we received through the U.S.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, as always, did you get anything new? I'll let you go first. Did you get anything new this week?
No, not with me. It's in my box, so I didn't get to go this past week, and I was setting up my new PC as Dustin and I were discussing earlier. So that took up majority of my weekend. But I'll definitely be getting there this weekend and picking up the new Spider-Man that dropped. That one again is, at least for now, my personal favorite of the covers that have released for Death of Spider-Man. So,
oh, well done. Yeah, well done on those. I got one book. I'm not going to lie. Whenever I saw the Strange Academy news come out, it scared me. I think I've got all the books that are from Strange Academy issue 1, but they're all raw. And I really wanted to trade a copy. So this is the 1 in 25 ratio variant.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so 9.8. So since the news broke, I picked it up. But this is the one that we had previewed before that has the.
Oh, that's awesome. The Strange. Yeah, the remark there at the bottom.
So I had to get it because I thought I've had that book watched ever since we did our show about different art out there for Skottie. So I was like, man, if this news does break, all the books, the Strange Academy #1s will disappear. I really want to get I think it's the 1 in 50 cover, but the prices on those that are graded 9.8 are already somewhere between $800 and $1,000. So
oh wow,
I settled for the Doctor Strange sketch on that. So
yeah.
And, I also ordered the issue 1 regular cover with no signature, just as a 9.8, because I thought if I send my books in and I get like a 9.2, 9.4, I'm going to kick myself for not getting them when they're still a decent price. So I would highly recommend
you say that though, but I mean, again, as long as your comics are bagged and boarded and they haven't really been handled crazy. I mean, again, I was still thoroughly surprised when we sent in I got both of our Gwen Stacy first appearance as Ghost Spider back as 9.8s, especially those being black covers. And we read those. I remember reading those at least 1 or 2 times and handling them. So I mean, the fact that we got 9.8 on those, and granted, it's not guaranteed because we got a 9.4 on my Moon Knight. That was my personal collection as well. But again, those are they're. That one, especially the Moon Knight's a pitch black cover, so that's I figured as much going in, but I'm sure you'd probably get some good grades.
I would hope so. There's books that I've bought like 8 copies of to try to get a good grade, and the guys that are with me in the fantasy football league that we do with Skottie, I sent in 2 of the I think it's the Alien books, they're black cover, and I picked out the best copies I had, and I sent both of them in because that was going to be my contribution to the prize pool, and they both came back 9.6s. And
that's the black cover one we're talking about, or the white cover?
It's the black cover one.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's tough with those black covers. Yeah,
I can't remember which one it is, but I bought a bunch of them because I knew the black cover was going to be a pain, and I have yet to send any more in because I want to get one graded too, but I'm kind of gun shy after, and those had never been taken out of the bag or board. but that's why I was just kind of hesitant because I thought if I send them all in, there could have been a defect when the person loaded them into the bag and board and just like bent the
Just say
bag.
any weird spine tick, or not even necessarily a tick, but just like those like the rough edges if it got beat up sliding around in the bag and board. And yeah, it's again, I know it's one of those things where it's not a perfect process and it's hit or miss, and some people have better um experiences with it than others. But yeah.
Yeah, the Adams cover is really cool as well. And he got all the cover. I was trying to catch up on the comments here.
I know, yeah. I'm doing it on my phone. Funny enough, I've got YouTube open, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of keeping along that way. So
Now Seth corrected himself, but it's hard to put up both of them at the
I know
same.
I was curious why he said he got all covers except the 152. I was like, who's he? Who are we referring to? But the I makes more sense. So
Yeah, Seth's gotten so big that he's talking in third person now. Seth don't like the show no more. he's done with it.
I didn't think that he could get any more full of himself, but he's proven me wrong yet again. So
Man, we're gonna have to change the name from Skottie Talk to Seth Trash.
exactly, the Seth Trash Talk Show. I like that. Yeah, that could be our second channel. That'll be the after show for this show. Yeah. So,
but we love Seth. We only pick on him because we do think a lot of Seth. So we pick on those that we care a lot about. So
exactly. I am excited because I'm assuming we'll get a chance to meet in person for the first time, like you and I did for Heroes Con. So again, great. I fully expect him to already be knee deep in Brett Bean art by the time I get to the booth. So
yep, I could almost promise you that he will at least have scouted it out before you got there.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he'll probably be helping Brett at the booth, I would assume. So
yeah. And real quick before we move on to the next slide, I didn't want to bypass Ryan's comment here about the fantasy league, and I'm commissioning 3 leagues already. I don't know if I want to add any more, but I would love to do something where you could have a lot of people in it. And just right now we have 2 leagues in the Skottie group, and there's 12 participants in each league, and they all send in books as for the prize pool. So I have stacks of Skottie's comics, CGC books around. And then I have to bundle them up and let the winners pick out their pools if they want, and then mail 6 pretty good sized boxes at the end of the year. So I think I've hit my quota for the number of leagues, but hopefully Ryan can get in on one of those if someone drops out. I'd love to have him as part of the group. All right, what's our next one? Okay, this was now does the Coliseum. Or I don't know if I'm allowed to say your comic shop. I shouldn't have said that.
No, yeah. I've mentioned it before. Yeah, the Coliseum. There's like 12 different locations, but I specifically go to the Kissimmee one myself. But I
think, have that one for you. The one of
I don't know. It's been hit or miss, unfortunately, with these variant ones. Like for instance, the I Hate Fairylands. I was supposed to have gotten them, but unfortunately, I guess there just wasn't maybe enough interest, or they weren't able to buy enough or get enough to be able to get those. So Brian hasn't reached out to me to let me know if these are there yet. I'm hoping, but if not, then I'll check out elsewhere. So
well, I was trying to, the slide little image is popping up. I was trying to remove it so I could get a better shot of it, but
oh, gotcha.
real quick, I'm not gonna. Yeah, just put me in a Dunk Take Live, and Ryan right on cue. There's Seth in the Dunk Take. You guys are quick tonight. I like it.
Yeah, this is definitely one because again, I don't chase every single cover just because I'm stretched multiple ways in terms of things I like buying and stuff. So especially with MegaCon coming up, I'm trying to pace myself. But this is one I would love to own this one because again, this one's just my personal favorite out of these Spider-Man bunch so far. So I'm hoping that I'm able to get this somewhere. So
I do like it. It's no Vulture. It's no Vulture death, but I do like it. It is up there. And I love the line art, the black and white virgin cover for the 1:100 ratio. Yeah, that would. I mean, that original art would look so good too.
Yeah, no, it's I love these. I love that. I love when the line art gets its own variant cover, and gets, the love that it desires as well. Because again, it's just so cool comparing, like having these two next to each other, comparing what, I'm assuming Francois, who does the colors, is at least per usual. So it's just cool to see, what was established in the inks versus what gets added. Obviously, the rain and stuff, that makes sense. But even just seeing that a few of the ripples got inks is interesting and really cool. So.
I agree. And before we move on to our next slide, we've had a few more people join on, so I'm gonna make you tired of saying it tonight, Tyler. Would you let our fine people
No,
know?
yeah. So for those who weren't here in the beginning, and maybe for those who weren't even here last week as well, because of the 5-year anniversary with the Facebook group, we are going to be doing a giveaway each month for all 12 months this year. So we're starting off January, kicking it off. We'll generally be doing them, I believe, at the end of each month. The final show is when we'll be doing the giveaway itself. This month's because we started off a little bit late in January. We're doing things a little bit more simple. So next week, if you join us, and we hope you join us, we'll be asking for people's names throughout the show. We're doing like a roll call. Whoever's in the show will be throwing your name into to the ring and into the spin the wheel. And at the very end of the show, we'll be spinning that wheel, and whoever it lands on will be getting a $25 gift certificate. And as we progress, we're going to be doing one winner for each month. Maybe at the end of the 12 months, we'll maybe do one final big one, and everybody can join again, regardless if you've won already. But at least for now, we're just trying to let multiple people attempt to win the prize. So like I said, just be there, watch us, come join us, join in on the fun, and then at the end of it, we'll be spinning that wheel full of names. Hopefully, it's a lot. Hopefully, it's not just Seth. And then whoever wins will be calling out their name. And we did kind of add on a little thing where if we call your name and you're not present in the show, then we'll give you a little bit of time, but we'll probably spin it again, just that way it's fair to the people who stuck around and watched us and everything. So
Yeah, and real quick, Tyler, I love that idea, but I think we're going to have a code word pop up on the bottom of the screen, and whenever Tyler shouts your name out, the first you got to type that code word in, because it's going to be something ridiculous. You're going to be like, Seth is the worst or something like that. We'll make it fun just to pick on Seth, and if he wins, he'll have to type that in. But we'll do something just to.
like a code. Oh, I see, like code word. So if they win, they have to say that code word. Gotcha. Okay.
We know you're here, and we know you appreciate typing in code words. So.
For sure, yeah. I was curious, Seth's comment. I was curious why you said Ryan, Seth, but you meant me. So okay, good to know. I was like, wow, I'm glad to know I'm not included in case you have any extras. So.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I was so far behind, and people that are watching this on recap can't see the Ryan. My LCS 2. If yours doesn't have one, let me know. Ryan, I got to. I'm just trying to let everybody catch up, so they're not confused.
Well, going on that one, that's pretty awesome, Ryan, to be able to get to go to your LCS and grab those issues off the wall on Wednesday. That's super nice. So.
Oh, dang, but not that you wouldn't help Ryan out too. We're not going to
exactly, yeah.
Ryan, but Seth, that's very kind of you to do that. So
I'm so flustered. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a little war going on in the chat section there. So I'm all for it.
Ryan, a back and forth.
Yeah, Ryan and Seth and some of the other guys that we've seen that pop in here from time to time are all really good guys and all good sports. So it's all done in jest. We all have a good time.
Exactly.
Let's see. All right, so this next one comes with a little bit of a warning. I'll give everybody a second just to, turn away if you can't handle awesomeness. But
I was wondering what was happening, what was going on there.
I don't know. I really don't know most of the stuff I do on this show until about 10 seconds before it happens. So. But yeah, this is let's go in the Wayback Machine all the way back to last February. I think it was February. Last February, whenever I got the privilege of joining Skottie and Megan on a live show where people from our group including Tyler. Including Tyler got to ask questions, and I had to read them word for word and ask Skottie
Yes,
and Megan different
the
questions.
moment that will live on in infamy for the rest of the Skottie Young Appreciation Group's lifetime for sure. So
It was, yeah, and that was so many good memories were made that night, and all the people that I got to join from the group. It was such an honor to be able to do that and represent our group. And I was so scared that night that I was not going to get everybody's question because I didn't want to let all the people down. I mean, we had like, to Skottie and Megan's credit, we had like 50 questions that night, and I was
yeah.
so worried I was going to leave somebody out, and I did not want to. I did not want to offend or hurt anybody's feelings. So, but we bulleted through. I think I had 5 questions for him, and I only ended up asking I think one because I didn't want to overstay our welcome. So it was such a great time. But not to bury the lead, the cover that was announced that night was the Skottie Shop Spider Punk exclusive. And I talked to my people at Gentle Giant, and I said, guys, we need to make this a statue. This is one of the biggest hits, one of the most well received covers. And I got a little bit of pushback. There's all these other ones they wanted to do first. And I said, no, guys, Spider Punk is popular. And I showed them one of my charts I made. And lo and behold, this is what happened. So
I was gonna say I like that you have weight at Gentle Giant, but it's almost like they're scared. He's like, oh no, he's getting out the chart, and like you get it out, they're all just kind of cowering in fear.
The restraining order limits have obviously ended, so we need to find a way to make this guy happy and go away. And we got Spider Punk out of it, so you're welcome. Thank
No,
you
yeah,
all.
it's such a. I'm so glad they're doing this.
I'll be right back. Go ahead and keep talking about it.
Yeah. Such a quick turnaround too, thankfully. Yeah, no, this is, hands down one of my absolute favorite Spider-Man covers. The fact that we both got both the pink variant along with this regular edition, but yeah, I mean, it just looks fantastic. And again, it's so interesting to me. One of the details I thought was really cool was, again, most of the time you're only getting to see the flat 2D cover. So for instance, you don't get to see his left arm all that well. You get to see a little bit. So getting to see the statue from the back and seeing how elongated the left arm is just such a fun little detail to it. And again, I love the way people will present these, having both the cover itself and then the statue in front of it. I don't personally do that, but I would like doing that just because I think that it's really cool. Yeah, putting Ryan's comment up there, love the detail, but hey, how the sizes seem to be smaller than the earlier ones. It's such an interesting thing because I feel like it's not necessarily the character itself. Whether it's obviously smaller, but I think it's due to like all the extra elements. So like for instance, the guitar in this one, maybe they try and stick to a certain size, or the Spider-Man, he was on the little smokestack thing. But I would agree, it is interesting that they're making them smaller. I don't know if that's a cost thing. I'm sure maybe it probably is. But I wonder too if it's maybe they're trying to bring things more in line if they do bigger ones to kind of keep things a similar scale across the board rather than just each one big and kind of looking odd next to each other. But that's just my presumptuous opinions or takes on it, not that it necessarily is what that is. So
it's true. But real quick, because I'm a pack rat and I keep everything, I have the questions from that night. I have them, believe it or not, I have them all saved.
Oh wow! Because I remember, you like wrote them all out and
stapled them and taped them. And Seth's question from that night, let's just read it back because this pertains to Mega. We're going to read Seth, Ryan, and Tyler's questions just because we can, and we got extra time tonight. So Seth asked Skottie, the question popped in my head when watching some other artists at MegaCon that I bet there would be a market for Skottie to charge extra for his older graffiti signature. Have you ever thought about that? I think some might call them artist signatures. I'm having trouble reading, or something similar. The bigger artists that come to mind are Crane and Liefeld. I know I, for one, would pay for it. Thanks for listening. All right, that was Seth's question. Really good question, Seth. That was seeing Skottie's signature, and we saw some of different variations of signature on his artwork, on his daily sketches, on even I think the sketches they did for the CGC. It's always cool to see whenever he does pop out different signatures, but that was a good question. Ryan our buddy Ryan had 4 questions. So I can't remember, but favorite member of the Wu-Tang and favorite Wu-Tang solo album. Ryan, do you remember what the answer was for that? Because I sure don't. This was for Skottie, obviously. Question 2, I know there are unannounced creator-owned comics in the works, but do you have another original Marvel series in the works, a la Strange Academy, which was a good question. What is your favorite Spider-Man costume variant? And question 4, since there are no comic boxes sporting Skottie art, would you ever consider selling larger stickers with some of your art to put on blank boxes? Well, there are boxes now, so that question is
true. Yeah,
I like to think that Ryan, the guys over at Diamond or whoever,
kickstarted that.
Yeah. So he's got a little bit of pull too. And now, Tyler, you had some questions too, so I'm gonna read them the best I can. Hello, stupid fresh mess. I gotta take a drink.
I would say you need some water there.
Straighten my hat up. Hello, stupid fresh mess crew. Your friendly neighborhood Tyler here. Ha.
Exactly. The ha. Yeah.
Skottie, you've done a collab with. Man, you're so hip, Tyler. You did the collab. Yeah.
Collab.
Yeah. Oh, good Lord. You did a collab with Fortnite, which, as they say, oh, good Lord, I can't even read this, Tyler. You're killing me.
As the kids say, is lit. Because I remember,
it's like PTSD for me here. So.
I know. You pulled these out. I nobody prompted you.
Yeah, I don't know. I should have not have done this. Which was, as they say, lit. Would you have been, or would you be would be your favorite video game?
That was favorite video game. Yeah.
Megan, what's your favorite part about teaming up with Skottie and your journey into the comic industry? And then both, are there any big goals or ideas that you all want to tackle together as a crew in the new year? And man, did you even know like all the stuff that was going to be happening in 2024 that they're going to be doing when you asked that question? And obviously,
no, I know. Yeah, like the things are like, it's like, are there any big things? Yeah, there's a few, I would say, that happened throughout the year for sure. So,
and they were sitting on some of those that they couldn't reveal to us at the time, because like the 35th or the 10th year anniversary, all the covers that were coming out. I mean, man, there was a lot of stuff that happened in 2020.
It is funny. They've got good poker faces. So, and there's, and honestly, I'm sure there's so much going on. He's like, there's a lot in my head, but I can't say for sure because I don't know which ones are, we're allowed to say, or which ones are coming out soon, or that kind of thing. So,
I mean, it's like they're icebergs of information, because what you see on top is not what all that's floating below the surface. So
exactly, like I said, they've got his stuff planned out all through this year. I'm sure well into next year for certain covers or certain things like that. So. It's not surprising in the least bit. So,
that's absolutely. AP Core 1 has joined us and made some comments. So, it's trying to figure out if that's somebody from our group or not. But if not, glad.
I wanted to pull that one because they them talking about they really want to get this one, but they can't because the way that they are, they'll have to get them all, which I totally understand. Especially these statues. It's a dangerous game. I mean, they're up to what, 60 now, or is it 70?
Yeah, I'd have to check the checklist, but I've lost.
I want to say it's between like 50 and 70 total. You just got to kind of take them one at a time, and honestly, most of them are for the most part, I'd say fairly easy to get. But there's only, a few that are not impossible, or they're maybe either impossible or they're just really expensive. A la Gert, the I Hate Fairyland, which again, we'll see what Skottie and them do with the ones that they found. So,
right. We could sit here and name the statues that are the Gert, the Wolverine,
even the Venom, and the Rocket Raccoon.
The Rocket Raccoon stuff, Storm, and then Ant-Man. Those are the ones that are, if you're talking about, $300 around that range.
Maybe the Doom one, the Doom variant too, the white one. It's not like crazy bad, but it's still a little bit more than the others. But
it is getting up there, and like even Deadpool, the original Deadpool, it's getting more pricier too. The last time and because they're getting more scarce as more of these coming out, and like AP had said, the collector's mentality is you got to collect them all, and especially when they're as cool as these are. So you got people going back and buying the backlog, which is making the supply dwindled down and demand going up. So what that means is rising prices, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And real quick, before we move on to the next thing, I've also got my list from that night of people that won, and you'll never believe it, but Seth Traub won $25 gift card.
Well, seeing as he's already won, then I guess he's out for the drawing for this month. So
There you go. It's you've won on there. It's Corey. Cool. So yeah, Corey's
nice.
a very active member of the Skottie Young Appreciation Group. So glad to have him on here with us, and I'll try to remember that going forward. And real quick before we jump on, you could have swore that this video of me interviewing Skottie and Megan was done probably 10 minutes before our show, because I'm wearing the same hat and same shirt that I'm wearing now. So
I hadn't even noticed. I hadn't even made that connection. That's hilarious. You're just missing the glasses.
Oh, dang it. Yeah, I don't have them with me. So, but yeah, and the reason I can't keep my glasses on because when I'm wearing a hat down here, I get hot and my glasses start fogging up. So, yeah, I can't do that. But yeah, that's embarrassing. But it is what it is. All right. This was one of the two announcements that was for the Skottie shop this past week, and they released issues 65 through 68 from yeah, that's what I tell myself, but we both know it's a lie. These books were released for pre-order in the Skottie shop, and just in case you're not familiar with the Skottie shop, which I believe everybody on here is, but you may have some people that watch the show later, that is the link. You can't click on it, but you can type it in to get to the Skottie shop. These are in the CGC section of the store. These covers side by side are so good. I really wanted to put all of them together because these are the 4 that were previously released, along with the best cover ever, the Spider-Man being fed to the vultures. But yeah, and we're 8 in, and we've got a few more to go. So, these would be awesome to have on your shelf all beside each other, especially in a guaranteed 9.8. And they're $150 each at the Skottie shop, guaranteed 9.8. You get the Skottie shop, Skottie Young custom logo by CGC. You get the books, you get the Skottie signature. And what's really cool, and you probably saw this, Tyler, if you had a chance to check Instagram, was the test. He's doing the test signatures on some of the books.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And then we'll know exactly where those are heading because of the new books that they're doing. So the story ones. So very cool to see that stuff. It's interesting because it adds. It was interesting beforehand getting to see the colors, but now knowing, I can own that. Hopefully, eventually, at some point soon. So.
And I thought about this after we discussed it a little bit in the show last week, but I was thinking it reminds me a lot of my grandma. Grew up right after the Depression era on a small farm with 8 brothers and sisters. And whenever they killed anything to eat or anything, they used every single part of the animal. The Skottie shop has become brilliant in their way to use stuff that some people may see and say, hey, I'm going to throw that out. It's scrap, it's waste. But they're using every part of the cow. So
no, it's honestly that's a great comparison because I mean it's such a, like you said, a smart business move to post this stuff. And again, like for collectors, again, there's always going to be somebody interested in something, whether it's a napkin with the scribble or whatever it is. I'm sure there's somebody out there that would be glad to add it to their collection. And like you said, it's cool because it's adds that personal touch to it. Not that the one signature isn't personal enough as is, but just having that extra little story behind it makes it a little bit more worthwhile. So,
and I don't know. I've seen in other artist reps selling books like comps, because whenever an artist works on a book or writer works on a book, usually the publisher will send them copies of the book as comps, and they'll sell these to fans. They may sign them, do a markup on them because they come from the person. Say this is just for example, like personal collection of Ryan Stegman or somebody like that. And whenever someone buys those on a live show, usually one of the first questions they ask is, can you get CGC to have a notation on there that says from the personal collection of yada yada, who the artist is or writer is. But unfortunately, for somebody like a rep sending those books in, CGC has a minimum quantity of what you can send in, in order for them to add that notation to the group of books that you're sending in. Well, fortunately for Skottie, he's got this wealth of books that he's able to repurpose for this function. And not only do you get a book, as you said, is unique and special, that may have multiple signatures, that may have a sad face for like the Spider Punk,
Yeah,
or the remark that he didn't like and he just drew something on it.
the just Spider-Verse one, yeah.
Yeah, that one. It may have something like that on there, but it also at the top it has that awesome custom logo that says "From the personal collection of Skottie Young." And I think for the price of what you're paying for the CGC in the book and the perfect accidents on there that you may call their signatures, you're also paying for that label, knowing that this is from his collection, and it's not going to be something that everybody has, especially that book.
Yeah, and I mean, and you can rest assured that whichever comic you get was thrown on the floor at some point by Skottie, as shown in his video. So
yeah, he's started up gnawing on books during Instagram.
Oh goodness, yeah. I'm waiting for like a coffee. I think he actually did have one of them, didn't he? Wasn't it the Spider-Man where he says like a coffee mug on it or something? I think Megan listed, or
I thought she said it was wine. I thought she said there was wine.
Oh, that was it. They thought they listed it as coffee, but it was a wine. Yes.
Yeah, it was actually wine. So
which makes sense. They're always drinking wine. So
so that one I think may have some of Skottie's DNA on it. So whoever bought that, when the cloning process gets a little bit further along,
the dino DNA, exactly.
Yep.
Just remember to stop and ask yourself whether or not you should is the main question.
Not if you can. That's right.
Yeah.
I think of that movie AI. At the very end, they find the lock of hair on the teddy bear. Well, I picture these aliens are going to come to Earth. They're going to find this DNA on a comic book, and they're going to, bring Skottie back, and he'll force him to draw different images for him.
I like that in this scenario that Skottie is already long gone. It would seem like he's. This is I guess well past his future. If there's anybody I would love to give to aliens to represent the human race, it would be Skottie 100%. So he'd be the chillest, cool. They'd be like, oh, like humans don't seem that bad. Like they're pretty cool. So
how did they destroy themselves? How did they get where they are if they're all like this guy? It's like, well, if we all were more like Skottie, it'd probably be a lot more peaceful across the world. So
exactly.
Except when you steal his car, then he doesn't seem too happy with you then.
That's a fair, I'm glad to see we haven't gotten a daily sketch of anything that bad so far from him. So
let's see. The coffee spill led to me owning my Grogu sketch from him. I'll have to hear more, and I probably heard that
story time there. Yeah.
So Ryan, if you feel free to type it out, and we'll be glad to bring it up on screen and read it, because I'm kind of curious about that. It may have just. I'm not going to even speculate. I'll let Ryan explain that one, because I am fascinated to hear stories like that. All right, last but not least, I think for the night will be our number 3. It's hard to believe that the thick hard books that Skottie is so proud of for I Hate Fairyland, we're already up to yellow.
I know, it's
colors.
They're honestly some of my favorites on display, just because they're so colorful. The gold inlay is really cool. Like it's just such a fun, and they've got this really nice feel to them as well. So I can't wait. I'm super pumped that these are coming, or the third one is coming out. I've already got it ordered, so I can't wait to add this one to the shelf. I did ask on their Instagram if we're also going to be getting a third one with DCBS to complete that set as well, of the black editions with gold. And unfortunately, they said that at the moment they don't have anything planned for that. So unfortunately, that means I'll just have the 2 of those, but they're still very, really cool. And like I said, I'd rather have the colorful version. So
and I can't remember if on the first 2 that the Skottie released, do these have the book plate in them, or are there?
I don't, because I didn't get my first 2 from him in the shop, so I don't know if I don't know if you buy new ones. If they do, I want to say they I don't think they do, but I'd be very surprised if this one didn't come with a book plate. Hopefully, I'm hoping it comes with a book plate. So, but if not, it makes sense, because the trade paperback came with the Gertzilla, so we at least got that book plate. So
Well, that's true. So yeah, and maybe that is something that's more safe for trades on the
And
Scotty
it
shop.
might be also because they're sealed. Like, I mean, I think most of them,
Right.
I don't know if buying them, I assume buying them straight from the shop, you also get it sealed. So maybe that also plays into it. You know, they can't put the book plate
Yeah,
inside the book itself. So
and just to show how misinformed I am about it, because I didn't know if these were signed or not, and if they're sealed, if you have to rip it open to sign them. I
yeah, I
didn't
guess
read the
that's true.
description.
Like I would imagine, so maybe not. They probably aren't. They, I mean, I assume they get them sealed, but yeah, I would assume they'd have to break the seal and then sign them on the inside. So,
If he signed, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not saying that he does. I didn't read the description well enough, unfortunately. But yeah, definitely worth checking out if you're interested in them, though.
well, I'll check it out here. But yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head when I ordered it if it, and I don't remember them saying in the newsletter whether or not it was signed.
Okay, well, Ryan typed us up
Nope,
the
it does say
story.
signed by Skottie Young though on the site, so they must at least open it up and sign it on the inside. So.
Okay, that's good for anybody that wants his signature on it. That yeah, I don't blame them. That would be one of the perks from ordering it from the Scotty shop, would be able to get that signature. So okay, so Ryan's story for his Grogu sketch was that he had a giveaway during a YouTube show for a fully markered Grogu sketch that was in a drawer when coffee spilled. I'm not laughing about the coffee, but and got into the paper. Was fortunate enough to be the one who won. It's just like, man, whoever, you need to thank whoever made that cup of coffee and set it in that exact location, because you know, as they always say, you know, one person's misfortune is another person's fortune. So I'm glad you was able to get that, Ryan. And even with the
Exactly.
little,
No, it's in like, you know, it's got a fun story. So I mean, that's it comes with a bonus, if you will. I think that stuff is always cool because again, it's a one of a kind. You know, nobody else has something like that. So
no, I'm not a Star Wars fan per se, but yeah, the story attachment is all about it, and it's Scotty art, so you don't have to be a Star Wars fan to appreciate it. There's been daily sketches and things that Scotty has put out that I had no idea who the character was, because I may not be into anime, like Tyler's more into anime than me, but or some of the sketches for movies or things I hadn't seen. But you don't have to be a fan of a property per se to be able to enjoy good art. So
what's funny though is I do that is like my one limit. I won't if I don't know what it is, I won't buy it. Even if I think it's cool, it's like for me. So for instance, like the One Piece, I wasn't even looking at that One Piece when he originally did it. I was interested in the My Hero Academia and the Demon Slayer one he did because I had watched those series at that point. So it was funny finally watching One Piece and going, "Oh man, I wish I was into One Piece when he did this sketch." But again, it worked out thankfully, and I ended up getting it. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I was so glad you was able to get that, because we had talked about that one beforehand, and the fact that you was able to make it happen is just a great accomplishment. I was really proud for you.
yeah,
And
I
then,
keep forgetting. I really need to add that and all my other pieces to the comic sketch art website. So
oh yeah, yes, please do. And Ryan, I hope you do are able to see Scotty at Planet Con in Kansas City. And
mm,
if you are, please post pictures, because if you do on the group, there's a good chance they'll end up on this show, and we'll be able to appreciate them all together.
yeah, no, yeah, like I said, that's always really fun getting to get a picture with the art with the artist. So yeah, definitely post it like Dustin said because cons are some of the best pictures. Because again, it's just so fun to see everybody so excited to, you know, get to meet Skottie for the first time, or even, you know, Megan and John and everybody else. And, you know, again, just the vibes. Again, as MegaCon moves closer and closer, my excitement just keeps building because it's just so fun to be at those conventions and just the excitement and everybody's interested in so many of the same things that you are. And, you know, everything's a buzz. So,
Most definitely. And Megan has said it before in the comments, but make sure that when you go up there, let them know who you are, that you're in the group, that you're a fan, that you're a member of our Facebook group, and that you watch the show and all that good stuff. And because I know Megan reads the comments. Scotty has hinted before that he may occasionally read comments and things on the group. So it's fun for them to know that, you know, put a face to a name as they read your comments on there. So make sure and let them know who you are.
yeah, no,
And,
exactly. Yeah, I know they, like you said, they enjoy it just as much, like you said, especially because they're in there, you know, and they'll recognize people and start to recognize you the more you comment and share. So,
and please, 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 if you go and let them know who you are, please be polite and respectful, so they don't run away from our group and never interact with us again. I'll be like, don't you know who I am? And
I'm for the Facebook group. It's like, no, that's not the way to.
yeah,
Don't do it that way.
Yeah, put respect in your lips when you say my name. No, I know all the people that we got on here right now would never do that. We've got perfect gentlemen on here, but
Well, besides Seth, but yes.
but yeah. I gotta stop. Once you're like you're pushing. I was like, I don't want to pile on Seth too much because I like Seth, and I don't want him to think I'm not joking with him. So.
Oh no, I know because Seth can dish it out just as well. So, which is funny because bringing up his because somebody recently posted, of course, the Bullseye cover, and I saw that, almost commented on it, didn't, and then not even 5 minutes later, Seth was commenting, tagging me. So I was like, I should have known. Even if I didn't make it, I should have known you would have made the comments. So
yeah, he's an instigator alert.
Exactly. No, it's always a blast though. And like you said, I mean, getting to, even just for, not even just for Megan and them, but for us, I mean, again, like you and I meeting at Heroes Con, which, as we talked about, there's a potential for the 2025 fan meetup where Seth and I may be at MegaCon this year. It's just so fun to physically, I love talking with people. So getting to meet people in person is a blast for me. So I'm sure it's just as much for Skottie and them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I've got Heroes potential fan meetup because that's the con I play. That's the only con I'll probably go to this year, and I'd love to meet as many people as possible. If we're doing nothing but meeting over at the food area at the con floor, I'd love to meet as many of the fans and groups and members of our group as possible. But if you're going to be at another con, please let the group know, hey, I'm going to Planet Con, I'm going to MegaCon, I'm going wherever, so you all can just meet up. And it's one thing to read people's comments back and forth, but put a voice to those comments. To me, that's one of the things that makes. If you come back with no art from the con, at least you come back with some good stories and good experience from meeting the artist, meeting fellow fans, and developing pretty strong friendships over time.
Yeah, especially Heroes Con. Like for me, being my first time last year, if you've never been to Heroes Con, it's honestly one of my favorite conventions I've been to, just in terms of the art and artist representation is just phenomenal. I mean, it's just comic books, it's just artists, it's just art, it's everything about comic books. So I love MegaCon. I think it's fun and super great, and I greatly enjoy going to it. But the art is a very small part of it compared to the celebrities and entertainment and all that stuff, which again is totally fine. It's always been MegaCon, so it makes sense. It's fitting for the name. But Heroes Con was an absolute blast, and yeah, it'd be super fun to get to meet more people there. And I know we're talking about doing the live show there. I'm still planning on hopefully going there as well, along with MegaCon, potentially New York Comic Con this year. I'm not entirely sure about that yet, but it's looking very busy con wise, at least so far. So,
and if Tyler does New York Comic Con, I'd love to do a live show from there, but he will be so busy. Like I would be at home and he would be at the con, but he will be so busy at New York Comic Con. I don't want to take away from his experience.
Oh my God, I can't imagine how crazy that'll be because I've only aired. But again, it's ridiculous. The numbers for MegaCon last year were upwards of like 190,000. So it's probably going to be even bigger this year, I'm sure. So
all right, and not to bypass Seth's question, I want to make sure and get to that. It has not been announced. Heroes has really only announced the first round of guests, and typically or sometimes artists like to wait until the con themselves announce that they will be there in order to before they announce it themselves personally. I don't know if that's the case with Heroes, but I've seen some other people say I can't comment on that con until the con actually announces it themselves. So I'm hoping. I haven't heard either way if they're going to be Heroes or not yet, but unless Hawaii happens to book for there, I mean it'd be nice. We could have a Hawaii potential fan meetup.
But it's say if Skottie's not at Heroes, then I won't be at Heroes. I'll be in Hawaii. Yeah. So
yeah, well, I probably won't be at Heroes either, but I'll be at home in Kentucky if Skottie's not at Heroes. So, but with that being said, as soon as it's announced, I guarantee it'll be plastered. We will probably do a big announcement hero show, just to let everybody know he's going to be there. It'll be on our Facebook group. It'll be on Skottie's page. So we'll make sure and let everybody know. Meet up
Yeah.
in Italy. Yeah, where Skottie went. Yeah, yeah, that'd be nice as well, Seth. But also, I think I mentioned this on the last show. The hotel reservations that went up for Hero. Uh, if you want to get a good room or a good building right next to hotel right next to the con, go on there and book. They've got the con rates up as long as you go to Heroes Con and book through their site. So go ahead and reserve your spot. Even if you don't think if you think there's a 95% chance going, 75% chance, high probability, I would go ahead and book. Uh, and then you can, if something happens that you can't go, you can always release it and not be charged as long as you do it in a timely manner. But yeah, it's I recommend getting your room if you want to go there. Last but not least, well, not last, but I will say, I mean, some of these guys like Seth, Ryan, or any of the other one, Corey, any of the other ones that have been on here. If any of y'all ever want to come on here, or anybody watching this after the fact, please message either Tyler or myself on the Skottie Young Appreciation Group, Facebook group, and let us know. And we'll be happy to let you come on here and hang with us forever, how long you want. If you only want to be on for 5 minutes, hop in, hop out, easy, quick and easy. We're all about
If you only
that.
want to talk Disney, that's cool too. We can do that as well. So everybody else will leave, I promise.
Yeah,
But
the number will drop to 0, and it will. But we will talk with you. We will talk live.
we'll be here. We won't go anywhere. So
Yeah, yeah. Or if you want to talk Severance, we will talk Severance.
Don't get me
no
started
spoilers,
yet.
no
Don't get me
spoilers.
started on that. So oof.
Yeah. So, but we will talk whatever you want to talk with, about, and together. All right. Last but not least, January 2025 giveaway announcement number 3. Tyler, take it away.
Yeah, so again, our first giveaway will be happening next Wednesday, the 29th. It is our first of 12 giveaways this year, and we're starting it off easy. Unlike the bean counter, which kind of threw some people off, we're going to be doing just a simple wheel. So as long as you're watching next week, we'll be taking everybody's names of people in the comments, and we'll be sure to make sure we've got all the names right before we do the spinning. But I'll put everybody's name in a wheel, we'll spin it, and whoever it lands on will win the prize, of course, that being the $25 gift card to the Skottie shop. And our kind of stipulation, again, just a small one, just being that we'll ask, if you're present. I think Dustin was coming up with an idea of maybe like a little passcode or code word, just to say something to say you're there. But if not, then we'll give you a little bit. If not, then we'll spin it one more time, and whoever lands on will win it. But yeah, it's just, again, hopefully a good way of engaging our community better, getting you guys into the conversation, because we love seeing Seth's comments, Ryan's comments, everyone's comments popping up, and just interacting with the group as a whole, and it just adds a little bit more of a personal touch for us. So
Yep. Breaking news: we may have 2 future guests once basketball season's over with, unless they do travel league or something like that, and it's year round, and he's just messing with us. But also,
yeah, I like Seth. Yeah, but only if I win the giveaway.
All right, so yeah, breaking news. Yeah, Ryan's gonna be on the show. So you've already won a giveaway, so you should, that should be like
exactly. I was just gonna say that. Yeah, I was like, well, if that's the case, and you've technically already won one, so.
All right, I think we did it. We've made it through another show, and we somehow stretched out an hour, probably 10 minutes worth of conversation into an hour, as only me and you can do. Well done, Tyler.
Especially getting out those question cards from a year back. So
yeah. Yep. Which it's just to show you all how sentimental I am. I've also got the notes from our first few shows, where I would script out everything that I was going to say and do, like notes from the little Skottie notes that you get with stuff.
Oh yeah.
I keep everything. My wife says I'm too sentimental. I'm too much of a pack rat. I just say I'm a dreamer. All right, you all have a great night. Tyler, you can sign us out.
Y'all stay fresh, stay messy, stay cool. Again, just keep joining us to talk about Skottie and all things in his world. And yeah, we'll see y'all next time.